Brandon, what's up?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
How can I help you become a better wholesaler today?
Yeah. So I just had a couple questions, but the first one is sorry about that, man.
That's okay.
You're good.
The first question being, I had an appointment yesterday and made an offer, and he told me he was going to get the contract. I thought that I'd be able to pre-fill it out. And so he asked for a copy of the contract. So I had one in my car. So I gave him a copy of the contract as well as the contract that was pre-filled out. And he said that he was going to run it by his lawyer's office and that his lawyer would give me a call today. So fast forward today, he called me about 2 hours ago and he said that his lawyer won't be in the office until the 12th of May. So, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I should go from here with that one.
Well, you're gonna have to wait. Unfortunately, you're getting an excuse, and it's not something you can overcome. The only way to do it is say, "Hey, I know you want to look at your lawyer, but I mean, your lawyer's not being reliable or anything. So why don't we go by my title company? They have a lawyer there, and they can talk about it. They're a third party. I don't pay them. They have no financial interest on this deal, but they can explain it. And have you done any deals before with that contract?
No, this is going to be my first deal here.
So see if there's a lawyer or a title clerk or something, and they can talk with the seller and kind of explain everything. Hopefully there's usually a lawyer there, and they can talk with the seller and just meet them there to explain it. And usually they're comfortable enough from there to sign it. And it's a free lawyer. They get to save some money. And just ask the title company. They have a lawyer there that can look over the contract, and we can use their title people, and they can get paid on it. Usually it's a win-win.
Yeah. I mean, the key, Brandon, is like the frustrating part about wholesaling is you're trying to find out if your seller is telling you the truth or not. That's just the honest truth. This is 50-50. Sometimes they lie to you. Sometimes they honestly are waiting for the lawyer to get back. And if you ever work with the lawyer, it's not uncommon for them to like disappear for 2 or 3 weeks. Like, it's the norm. So like simple things like, oh, great, which lawyer do you work with? And if they rattle it off like it's there, it's probably legit. And you just got to kind of find out nicely. You can give them the benefit of the doubt. Most people, it's usually a week or two. So you're at, what are we, that's like 3.5 weeks or something like that. That's kind of a long time.
I thought that was reasonable. So I just told him that that we could touch base about then.
Yeah.
So why would he be stalling? Like, what would be a reason for that?
You want to know? So how did your appointment go? I mean, it meet your expectations. You're like, man, this is better than I thought it was going to be.
It was pretty straightforward, man. To be honest, it was an infill lot, and he had just demolished it and got it rezoned for a fourplex. So, yeah, I mean, it was straightforward. I felt like I built rapport. He was an old guy, you know, and so I was chopping it up with him. We were walking the property, and I was telling him some ideas I had for it. So it seemed like it was pretty straightforward. You know, I wasn't expecting him to. You know, I was expecting a call from a lawyer today, or you know what I mean. So
yeah,
I wasn't expecting him to be like, you know what I mean? Like 50-50 on it. I thought it was going to be straightforward. But like I said, I'm pretty new to this, so I wouldn't really know.
So this is the part of wholesaling that you can appreciate it. Like, we all go through it. And like in the beginning, I just wanted to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I just assumed everybody told me the truth. And it's a fine line to walk. Sometimes you have to. So listen, if the May 12th comes up, you're kind of already committed to the deadline. So you're going to have to just see it out. And I wouldn't wait till May 12th to talk to him. I find an excuse or two to call him. Like, hey, is there anything that's making, is there anything I'm missing in that offer? And what I want to do is make sure he's okay with the offer. Because if he's okay with the offer, if he's going to blame something on his lawyer, it's going to be hard for him to backtrack. So if the lawyer's not comfortable with some of the language or something, that's some of the stuff you got to deal with, which I hate. But most lawyers want to find something wrong. That's how they justify all their fees and everything. It's just, but reaffirm to him like he's okay with the price, the terms, and everything. So when he comes back, my lawyer said I can't do it because of this. If it doesn't add up, well, you told me you were okay with the price before. Sometimes lawyers steer him towards, dude, it's an infill lot. It's not complicated. Like if it had a house on it, would even make more sense. So you're going to have to court them. I give every seller the benefit of the doubt until I verify they lied to me. Once they lie to me, I kind of go after them hard.
Okay.
So you're going to have to honor your agreement and just kind of go forward. And that's part of the upfront agreement. Like, who's going to be the decision maker on it? You got to understand, when you sell a lot or a piece of property, and you really don't need a lawyer, because if I'm selling you a piece of property for $100,000, and maybe I agree to pay my share of the closing cost, I know I'm going to walk away with at least 95, 96 grand. Like, it's not complicated. Like, the seller really can't get screwed by you. Like, what are you going to sign the deed over with nothing? That's why Zach says offering with the title company shows legitimacy and everything. And a lot of times, so you have a title company established, right?
Yeah, I made contact with them. I just started this whole process last Thursday, but Monday I found a pretty wholesale-friendly title company. They said they work with people like me all the time, so I'll just give them.
Your title company will help verify who you are, and lawyers like to work with title companies. For full disclosure, they hate dealing with wholesalers. It's just the truth. So don't get rid of the word wholesaler. You're just a guy who buys real estate. And a lot of times, if my title company has an attorney involved, if I can't get an answer and I get the attorney's information, I'll have them reach out to it, because they listen. Our client Brandon wrote a contract. They told you to get back May 12th. Is there any information you need additional from us? Not coming from you, from them, because they're going to have more experience talking to a lawyer.
Right.
Lawyers they hate talking to us. They act like we're like the lowest grade people in the world, and it ticks me off. To this date, I do not deal with a lawyer. I always have somebody else call them, because you don't want me to get me going on lawyers. But you're on the right path. I would just try to follow through on the May 12th. Don't wait till May 12th. Having an excuse or two to call them to verify some information, and maybe get your title company involved and go, listen, can we at least start running the title to make sure by the time your lawyer gets it, we'll have a title report, we'll have everything, anything to get them committed, like to moving forward. Your worst nightmare is having him take your contract, shop it around to other wholesalers, and use it as leverage against you.
That's what I thought.
That's the poison pill in like what you did with this. But like, I get it. It is what it is. I can't stop it. But if you called him, he's probably getting a lot of phone calls. How did you connect with this lead?
It was driving by, and he had a for sale sign, like just a sign on top of the property. So I just gave him a call.
Yeah. So the first thing, if he wouldn't get upset, I would take the for sale sign down to stop traffic. That's just, I'm an aggressive type of marketer. And that's like, if he says, hey, Brandon, did you take my sign down? And go, listen, we're just waiting for final approval from your lawyer, and we're ready to rock and roll. Like, you can go, if that's a problem, I'll put it back.
Okay.
If he says put it back, you already know what his intentions are.
Yeah, he's shopping the deal.
That's it. Like, that's what they do. It's like, you know it, and you learn, and you go forward with it. Some people will lie to you. It hurts, but it's the reality of the business. Just make sure you don't lie back to them, because you don't want to get into that trap.
Okay. All right. So just to be straightforward, so I just need to touch base and make sure that he's cool with all the terms as far as I know. And then
reaffirm. So just like I do in the closing, hey, just want to reaffirm everything here. And then maybe have your title company get involved, like reaching out when you get that lawyer's information, if you can get it. And then have your title company reach out to the seller and just, hey, listen, do you mind if we get some information? By the way, most of your title companies will run title. Even if it doesn't close, they won't charge you. It doesn't cost them a ton of money to pull title. Okay. And then they can start asking them questions and like start being committed. The more you can get them committed. And the last thing, you make the decision, take down that for sale sign, because in your mind, you have a verbal agreement. You're just waiting for consent of the third party. So if he lights you up but if he lights you up and you have to put it back, you already kind of know where he's going. So either way, you'll get an answer. You got to do some uncomfortable things in wholesaling. It's just the truth.
Yeah, I understand. And then just one more question, just as far as clarity. I've been checking out the videos on closing, and I saw where Rick said that you prefer not to go to closings, just so that you don't have to deal with like last minute renegotiations. Mm-hmm. And then I saw a video where Zach said to actually go with the seller and then have the buyer come after. So I was just wondering, is that for preference because you just prefer to do it a little different, Rick, or is there a situation that warrants a different, like to go or to not?
Well, my method is, if you're honest and upfront and you deal with all the problems and you work with your title company, there's no reason for you to actually go to a closing other than like sign the ink. The problem is if you go to traditional closings for title companies, a buyer and a seller sits across the table, and there's usually two realtors leaning over their shoulders.
You don't have to go to the thing. The only reason I say is so you get a testimonial from the seller. That's it. And when you're a beginner, you probably need the testimonials.
Correct.
So when he says that you don't have to go to the closing title company, he's saying that from an experienced look. Okay. When I'm talking about it for a younger person, they probably need some experience, especially when you're younger. Having those testimonials look really good for you.
Yeah. So that's
it.
You start out getting testimonials, and then towards the end, if you do everything right, I usually pre-sign a day or two before.
Well, you don't have to sign anything for wholesaling to a point.
Correct. Because if you
so there's no pre-signing. I mean, you're talking about buying the house, but you're young. You haven't got any deals yet. So I would definitely go there just to get the testimonials.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just start now, and then yeah, because I plan right now. Like I live in San Diego currently, but I'm in Minneapolis right now. Just
virtual, you're fine. You don't have to go.
Yeah, then that's perfect on it. So he's talking from a beginner's level, and I'm just talking once you do like multiple deals, like because they only ask you for stuff when you sit across the table, or you say something and you open up Pandora's box, and that's all we want you to avoid on it. So if you're honest and transparent, there should never be a hiccup at closing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all, guys. I really appreciate your time, man.
Okay. Let us know how it works out, man. You got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Perfect.